4. I bought a house without telling my parents, then found out they planned for my sister's whole family to move in with me for free. She stared at me like I'd just kicked her puppy. So that's it? You're just going to let us suffer? I'm not letting you suffer, I said. I've worked hard to get where I am, and I'm not going to let you guilt me into giving it all up. She muttered something under her breath, then turned and stormed off, her kids trailing behind her. I shut the door and leaned against it, feeling a mix of guilt and relief. The next morning, my mom called to tell me I was heartless for turning Anna away. She accused me of being cold and ungrateful and said I was going to regret it someday. I hung up without saying a word. And even as I'm writing this post, their texts are popping up nonstop on my phone. Mom sending walls of guilt-ridden paragraphs, and Anna's firing off photos of the kids. I even got a voicemail from Dad just now that started with, "I hope you're happy." I didn't even bother listening to the rest. I can't take it anymore. The first thing I'm going to do tomorrow morning is change my number and only give it to trusted friends and my work. It's clear they're not going to stop until I completely cut them off. I'll deal with the social media stuff, tightening up my privacy settings and blocking anyone who might try to stir the pot. But that's for later. One thing at a time. I'll update you once I've taken care of everything. Thanks again for all your comments and support. It's really helping me get through this mess. Hey Reddit, I'm back with another update. So I've been reading through your comments, and wow, y'all really didn't hold back. A lot of you were mad at me for not blocking my family sooner, and honestly, you were right. After I changed my number, I went ahead and blocked them on everything. Facebook, Instagram, even the random relatives who might have tried to mediate. It felt so good to finally cut them off. But of course, it didn't take long for things to get messy again. I should have known the peace wouldn't last. It all started last weekend when my mom showed up at my house unannounced. I was in the backyard, trying to figure out how to plant lavender. Google makes it look so easy, but I've already killed 3 plants, when I heard someone knocking on my front door. At first, I thought it was my neighbor or maybe a delivery, but when I got to the door, there she was, my mom, standing on my porch with a pie in her hands and the fakest smile I've ever seen. "Hi Kate," she said, like she just stopped by for a casual visit, and not after weeks of me ghosting. Hi," I said, caught totally off guard. I stood there for a second, debating whether I should even let her in, but she shoved the pie toward me and said, "I thought I'd stop by and see how you're doing. I brought your favorite, apple." I wasn't sure if I should laugh or cry. My favorite is cherry, but okay, Mom. Against my better judgment, I let her in. I didn't want to make a scene. She set the pie on the counter and looked around the house like she was taking inventory. "This is lovely, Kate," she said, running her hand along the back of a chair. "You've done a great job." I didn't know what to say, so I just mumbled a quick thanks and waited for her to get to the point. She sat down at my kitchen table and sighed dramatically. "I wanted to apologize," she started. "Things got a little heated, and I realize now that we were wrong to push you like that. You've worked hard for this house, and I should have respected your decisions." I stared at her, trying to gauge if she was serious. It sounded nice on the surface, but something about her tone didn't sit right with me. Then she launched into this whole speech about how proud she was of me and how the stress of Anna's situation had made everyone act out. "But that's no excuse," she said, giving me this sad, almost pleading look. For a second, I felt myself softening. Maybe she really was trying to make things right. But then she hit me with, "I was thinking maybe we could have a fresh start. I'd love to come over again sometime, maybe bring Anna and the kids. It'd be nice for everyone to see your new place." And there it was. I tried to keep my cool. "I don't think that's a good idea right now," I said, choosing my words carefully. "Things are still a little tense, and I'm not ready for that yet." She nodded, but I could tell she wasn't happy with my answer. "Of course, I understand," she said, but her smile was a little too tight, and her eyes kept darting around the room like she was sizing up the place. After a few more minutes of small talk, she stood up and said, "Well, I should get going. Thanks for letting me stop by. I really mean it, Kate, I just want us to be a family again." I nodded but didn't say anything. After she left, I locked the door and just stood there for a while, staring at the pie on the counter. Something about the whole visit felt off. For the past few days, I couldn't stop replaying the conversation in my head. Was she being genuine, or was this just another manipulation tactic? The timing seemed way too convenient. She'd spent weeks harassing me, and the second I cut them off, she suddenly shows up with an apology, and a pie. It also didn't sit right with me how quickly she glossed over everything that had happened. She didn't even mention the texts, the voicemails, or the fact that I'd blocked her. It was like she was pretending none of it had ever happened, which felt weird. And the whole thing about bringing Anna and the kids over, that didn't feel like a casual suggestion. It felt calculated, like she was testing the waters to see how much I'd let slide. I haven't reached out to her since, and she hasn't contacted me again either. But I can't shake the feeling that this isn't over. Knowing my family, there's probably something else brewing, and I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. What do you think, Reddit? Was my mom being sincere, or is there more to this than she's letting on? Part of me wants to believe she's genuinely trying to fix things, but the other part of me feels like I'd be an idiot to trust her. Let me know your thoughts. I could really use some outside perspective right now.